Looking at that Grange property reminds me why I love real estate. How would you be your whole life spending looking at properties like that? Not that they're all like that, but looking at properties like that is a terrific occupation. So if anyone out there is thinking of real estate, might be tough, but they're the lovely bits, being able to look inside those homes for a living. Now with us, CFS State Coordinator Brenton Eden. Now Brenton, and by the way, just a reminder why I've got my jacket on, so thank you for bringing it for me, and thank you for the hat.
It was a pleasure to allow you to wear them for the 20 minutes, Anthony.
We might have to rush you out and I'll see if I can end up with them, because I think they're just great. Can you buy this sort of gear?
No, because the beauty of being a CFS volunteer is it's provided for free and it's only for CFS volunteers. So we wouldn't want the general public masquerading as a CFS volunteer when they're not, and they're probably not doing it for the right reasons.
So can you get an equivalent?
You could certainly kit yourself out with some nice heavy-duty cotton. But
is that cotton?
Some of our gear is very expensive fireproof clothing that you wouldn't be able to get.
Right, and the hat? I need to get one of them.
Let's talk about the hat after the show.
Right, okay, cool. All right. Now the real questions. This is from Michael Gold. Questions for you, Brenton. If I saw a fire approaching my property and called 000, on average, how long would it take the CFS to get to my property to try and put the fire out?
Michael, very interesting question.
Let
me put this into perspective. If you were living next door to the fire station and it was a bushfire, there's a great possibility the truck is not even going to be there. It will already be somewhere else at a bushfire. And this is the issue with people in the Adelaide Hills, that we repeatedly say there is not a fire truck for every property in the hills, but there may not be a truck for your fire. It may already be somewhere else. Now that doesn't mean we'll leave communities without protection, but it's false hope to think that you're only half a kilometre away from the local CFS station and in a bushfire they're coming to your property. They certainly will be in the case your house catches on fire and it's the only event that day, but they could be anywhere from here to Sydney during a major disaster period. So that's why you need to know the risks and know what you're going to do without us being there.
So that's actually a good question.
It's a very good question because there's no answer to it, and it wouldn't matter if you lived right next to the station, that truck may not be there.
Thanks, Michael, for that question.
Good question.
Really good question, as it turns out. Now, I've got a question, and I won't worry. Sorry, guys, but I'm going to actually ask my own question now. So that's, on the one hand, you know, that's how long will it take to get there. The other hand, would you stay and fight a fire on your property, knowing what you know, or would you leave?
Knowing what I know, having seen what I've seen around the world, I would never, ever choose to be in that situation. Ever. It would be frightening, terrifying, hot, dirty, dark, potentially black with smoke, difficult to breathe, terrifying. Why would you ever choose? Because life's most important. Insure your house and look after your life.
And if you've got a pet at the home?
Take the puppy with you.
What if your pet was home and you weren't?
How did you plan to look after your pets?
You don't plan to have a bushfire?
Knowing that there's a bushfire. Well, look, this is a big issue, and we get a lot of calls to 111, you know, send a fire appliance, my horses are in the paddock. Well, it's not something we can look after, and in the priorities, it's life first and property and pets second. So we would certainly prioritise a response to someone's life, but the owner is responsible for their pets.
I'm going to get in trouble with the producer, but I've got one more question. Right. A total fire ban day, pizza oven, gas barbecue, all in a built-up area between buildings, so it's all kind of right there. Where does it kick in? Where does it sort of
The best advice on a day of total fire ban is not to do anything without checking on what you're allowed to do on the CFS website. So that could be anything from, I'm going out to use an angle grinder because I want to do that. Okay. I want to light a pizza oven. I want to light my barbecue. I'm out even using the lawnmower and the potential to strike a rock and start a fire. So all those questions and answers are actually on the CFS website. We've sort of gone through what would everyone ask us on a day like that, and you'll find the answers on the website. But my advice on a total fire ban day is not to do anything that's going to create an ignition source for a fire that you won't be able to control.
Brenton, that's been awesome. Thanks, mate.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it. Hopefully that might save, who knows, some people's property, some people's pets or themselves. Really important information this time of the year, and we are heading into what could could very possibly be one of the worst fire seasons that we've had on record, or certainly for a long time. Now let's go and look at some hot properties. Well, that's the end of the show, and I hope you've enjoyed your Halloween day. Now, next week, RP Data's Cameron Cusher will be on. I always love his segments. A lot of information, complete update on the market direct from RP Data themselves. And don't forget to see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. on TOOP TV. And now for more hot properties.